we're moving on from a really challenging period for you. 2012, 2013. You had some really horrific wipeouts. You were getting sort of dragged in the surfing world, but you've had some people around you, and I think mostly from what I'm hearing, inside yourself, a belief that you wanted to continue to pursue big wave surfing, to continue to push the limits, and you really have. And I want to talk a little bit about your pursuit of the Guinness World Record for the biggest wave ever surfed by a woman with a 68-footer at Nazare. Can you talk to us about that being a goal for you, whether it's a Guinness World Record or not, just going after that achievement?
Well, it was in the back of my mind, really, Dave, because I think when you go through a near-death experience and when you experience an injury like I did that puts you in bed for a few years and makes you so limited that you can't really prepare your meal, I think a world record becomes very secondary. And I even felt like at times that I didn't deserve to ask God for such thing, because just to have my life and to have health again was enough. I shouldn't be that greedy. And for years, I just worked. I just trained. I just rehabbed. I just studied the place. I did, for a couple seasons, my main thing was doing rescues. And all I did was drive and complement Sebastian's team as a rescue driver. So I got to learn about Nazareth so much. And that was my main goal. My main goal was to spend as many hours in the ocean as possible. I was still very limited as far as what I could do with my body and my mind. I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder in 2017, been doing treatment since. So I was hospitalized many times in that year because of my anxiety. With very strong physical symptoms, a lot of dizziness, a lot of confusion, a lot of, I would start throwing up and never stop, so I'd have to be hospitalized. So all those things just made for the world record to be a very distant reality. And to think that that was me in 2007, going in and out from hospitals. After going in and out from hospitals for 3 years because of my back, here I am going in and out because I can't stop throwing up, because I'm dizzy as hell, because I can't focus and I can't leave the house. So to talk about a world record at that time was absurd. I've been shooting this documentary for 8 or 10 years with this amazing woman. And a few times I pursued her to stop. And in 2017 was one of those times. We sat down and I told her, and I was like, look, you should not go to Nazareth this season because I can barely leave my apartment. Like, this is serious, why do you expect me to surf well? Like, I can't do anything right now. And she secretly came and rented a house right next door to me. So she's been here since, my neighbor. And so when I started the season in 2017, 2018, it was just about, let's evolve, let's surf every swell. Let's try and gather experience. And I felt, the momentum. I felt the evolution, in October, November, December. I was starting to feel like, wow, I can really, I'm really pushing it again. And I'm like, there was one moment in November when I got a really big wave, the day that Kosha broke the record. And I was swallowed at the bottom of the wave, and I had a very bad wipeout. It was the first and only time since that I felt a close enough sensation to what I felt in my accident underwater. And I kind of panicked a little bit. And Seb tried to get me. He couldn't. And he saw that I was on panic mode. And that was a very important experience to me. That really boosted my confidence because I understood how much my head in that particular scenario had tricked me. and had made me more desperate than I actually needed to be in that moment. And so that was November, December, January when that swell came around. I had, some luggage with me that I was feeling like maybe I could do something special. Maybe it was time to put things on the line and go out there on a really big day with somebody like Eric at the time, Eric Ribier, who I absolutely trust, who was on our team for years. So was somebody that I was very close, that made me very calm. At that time, everyone that was around me knew about my situation, knew that I was on medication, knew that they had to be gentle with me, and I was gentle with myself. So it happened. I don't even know how. I know through working, but through working a lot and being extremely dedicated to this place and this wave. But the timing was quite crazy. It was not everything perfect.
It seems like such a hard thing for anyone to wrap their head around, right? Because to be a big wave surfer at the level that you are, you have to be in supreme physical and psychological condition. It seems like you're really on the edge of what is humanly possible in probably the most hostile environment on Earth for human beings, right? So to hear you having to go through your spinal surgeries and just saying, look, I wasn't even able to make myself meals. Like that was, surfing Nazare was just so far from where I was at. And then having to work through anxiety, as recently as 2017 and right before you sort of set the big wave world record, it is unbelievable. Did you feel once you got through that session that it was just, did you feel like you'd kind of moved to another phase for your life, or just in terms of your health, physically, mentally, and confidence wise?
Something switched. I think something inside myself, a place where I carried a lot of pressure and where, failure was still an effect for me, where I still doubted myself, and I doubted whether I was ever going to have like a moment of success and recognition in the sport again. Those doubts, I think, went away. Like I felt like I had fulfilled my satisfaction, that I was happy with myself, that I was proud of myself. And that was very important for me to take on a different chapter of my life. It made me more relaxed. And I think finally it gave me that little switch on, I can fail again. Can I be allowed now?
Right.
Can you guys allow me to fail again? Because I kind of want to fail again. I kind of need that allowance to be able to like move on from here.
Well, it makes you probably makes you a better surfer too, right? Where it's like the pressure's gone. I'm now free to be free, really, and kind of become a better surfer in a lot of ways.
Yeah, of course. It gives you that freedom again, to not be worried so much about others, which is always a challenge. We think that we don't get affected, and we focus on not getting affected by outside voices and all. But the fact is that it's very hard. It's very hard. We're athletes, we're exposed. And a lot of what fuels us is the recognition, is failing and working towards that next possible success. And when you take away the possibility of the athlete to fail and to work towards their next possible win, you kind of kill it.
You're only 33, so not even in the prime of your career.
I feel it.
That's how I'm praising it for sure. Do you think about your legacy today at 33? Do you think about what you want it to be? Do you think about what it already is? And if so, how would you describe that?
I don't think much about it, but I am happy to know that the things that I had to go through, no other woman will, at least not the same things. And that gives me a sense of relief, because they will have a better chance to evolve and become better surfers quicker than I did, I believe. And I think that's important to me. I think to break a record now should be easier than the one I had to establish. To fail now should be more acceptable than the times I did fail before. To be criticized in public as a woman should be not as acceptable as it was in the past, like when I was. So that gives me some kind of comfort.
Do you like that? Well, if so, subscribe over there and then watch more videos over there. And then tell us your favorite videos down there. It's a 3-step process. Do them all now.